A big night last night for Hillary Clinton, who won 7 states, and it appears that she is really starting now to look ahead to November. So who will she likely face in a general election? Here with me right now, Steve Rogers, Jillian Melcher, Richard Goodstein, and Mike Shields. Richard, let me go to you. Hillary Clinton starting to get a full head of steam, if you will, and she's starting to get a little bit of pep in her step. How's it looking for her now, winning the Democratic primary? And it seems like she's also starting to focus on Donald Trump a little bit here.
Right. So the last time I was on with you, Charles, there was some question about whether Hillary was quaking in her boots a little bit. I don't think anybody in her camp is feeling that way now. Look, last night was a really solid night, not just because
she was a little nervous, but now she's over the hump.
Well, I'm just saying right now she's feeling pretty good, and here's why. She likes the matchup with Trump. She feels good about look, if you look at all the indicators, not just the polls, today's polls don't mean much, but I'd rather, frankly, be where she is than where Trump is, up 8, 10, and so forth. The president's popularity, even in the Fox-owned poll, is up 49, 47 net +2. So that's a good thing to kind of run with. And again, she's got not just, look, every person of color, with very few exceptions, that can mobilize themselves to get to the polls with Donald Trump at the top of the Republican ticket will vote. And I think a lot of middle-aged women as well, who are kind of sometime voters, will kind of feel, not just because Hillary's a woman, because they're scared to death that what a misogynist in the White House will mean.
And Steve, you know, I think that was the narrative when this thing started, right? Hillary Clinton, women were going to go for, and then it would be Hispanics and blacks. And all of a sudden that started falling apart, particularly women. Educated women were the first to leave, and a lot of other women. Her you know, people who say they want to follow her locks, it really fell apart. Maybe she's getting it back together. Maybe she's getting her mojo. But could she beat any of the Republicans right now, the top tiered, and particularly Donald Trump?
No, she's not going to beat any of the Republicans. She's not going to beat Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, she's not going to beat Donald Trump, Charles, because he's united the family. He's bringing people together. They're all coming aboard the Trump train, and so is this fellow in this picture right here.
I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's you got to really zoom in. That's me and Donald Trump.
Thank you, Trump. Thank you.
I'm okay. But what do you make of it, Jillian? Because there are a lot of polls that suggest that Hillary would beat Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There's some that say vice versa, but you know, she is beating him in some polls.
Yeah, I think that Donald Trump is Hillary Clinton's gift. I think she could not be hoping for a better situation. But what's so remarkable about this election season is you have the two most hated, the two most despised politicians. If you're looking at the unfavorability, I mean, I think they're winning because she is the only option that's viable on the left, and there's a real establishment that's congealed around her.
But Julian,
and I think on the right, there's a lot of dissatisfaction.
Who is it that hates them? And I'll speak on Trump's behalf. Who is it that hates them? The establishment, the people who have destroyed this country hate them.
The establishment American people backs Hillary Clinton. The establishment is, yes, you've got labor unions congealing around her. You've got, you know, the environmental left. You've got pretty much everybody but the Bernie Sanders hippies.
And you've got middle-class America. The hardworking middle-class Americans are backing Trump, hands down. Hands down.
Some of them.
And they are the people.
If you look at it still, the majority of Republicans do not support Trump.
All right, guys, I tell you what, we're going to come back and finish this conversation. Mike, I'll get you in there. Sorry about that. In the meantime,